Cool. We have, what have we got now? A meta arcane for secondaries. The fact that Uriel subsumes basically Trinity's fort is absolutely preposterous. You know, it really shows you how power crap these older frames are, the fact that Trinity's ultimate is Uriel's too. I want to try some more of this Pessimist secondary erudite, because I don't think it's as good as people are making out to be. Because I'm struggling to see, it buffing that much. Obviously, the Opti core is already AOE, but the likes of, the Latum and that, I couldn't see much change in Simulacrum.
Marie, take heart.
We'll see how we go on. Should be everybody large box now. Downstairs. Pop up this a bit. Not fiery. Listen, maybe it is working a bit better. Everybody's got that 10 stacks of radiation in them. Plus the gun's going to be propping it too. It's just a bit hard to tell because there's so much AoE with this gun. Are these guys Corpus or are they their own faction?
Such boils fester within all. Sin is our sickness. We are morbid with guilt and shame.
Oh, they're their own faction, these guys, are they? Basically just a new skin on them put in here. This is when you've got problems taking beam weapons in and trying to hit these. It can be a bit annoying.
From when he was a little boy smashing his toys.
Marie keeps reminding me of the woman in American Werewolf in Paris. Sounds exactly like the girl from that. Is that two of them balls up there? Wow, there's a heap of them up here. I never even noticed this before. I really should have bought a resource booster for this.
devil is our locomotive and we must blow off his steam.
Really blown off my fucking steam. These guys are so strong, hard health. Of course, beam weapons aren't best for this sort of level. To the bear, quieter now. Don't need as much volume to be able to hear my voice at the same time.
Clean this place up. Take what suits you. He obviously does not care for it.
Take it that's our only bayonet stance we'll have so far. Well, actually, I think we was probably ready to start building soon.
I fear Lua's light will not pierce the veil.
Be strong, brother of my soul. We will endure this tunnel.
Like fleeting thoughts that escape one's grasp, these devices seek to elude us.
Oh, that's better. That seems like it's doing a lot more damage, to be honest. I see it like this. Seems to be chaining everybody a lot better. You know, you're getting all these this 7 meter AoE are spreading statuses as well. We're basically turning this beam weapon into 7 meters of AoE around every single beam. And guys like this just too tanky, so down in these levels anyway. Crazy health these guys. Usually that would melt with an octopus.
Did to me? He corrupted my very being, Drifter. To rob me of my memories is to change how I know myself, is to change Rove. And that cannot stand. 13! this what you came for? Pray me away, Marie. Just try.
Soul, bless this willing sacrifice.
So hard to tell where the hell he is. Where the fuck is he? There he is. It's a bit of fucking crazy to tell where this boss is at times, unless there's a red target on it. But yeah, there's a lot of messy sort of lights everywhere, is there? Well, Erudite seems pretty broken in Occucore. Eat my words. It didn't look that good in the simulacrum, but now trying it again here, it's pretty strong. I'm like this. This is what I used. Who else was I going to try? Let's see. So we got on with Nidus. Yeah, should be fine with this. Watch this, I'll end up dying in the last fucking round. I'm using all the rewards.
Enter. Rest. You are blessed your path.
See that Protea's got a buff as well. Protea's got a buff because she's got that duration arcade.
No, Marie, take heart. Our friends will defend you.
Get these stacks of Virulence up. They didn't take parasitic armor. Oops. Seem to be pretty much alright though, do I? Get Uriel, you do this mode here. So if you've unlocked 1999 Syndicate, the Hex Syndicate, you go to your 1999. So go to the Holvania Mall in the PC. So in your orbiter, you know, the PC, go to that, then go to the mall. Then when you pause it, you'll see a mission called Dark Factory, something like that. And you choose this game mode. This is called Descendia. And once you choose this Descendia, you'll get the resources to buy him. Or when you finally get to the boss fight in level 21, then you'll be able to maybe get a part of him. But you know, if you run this like 10 times, you're gonna end up getting all his parts or enough resources to buy all of his parts. I was surprised at how quickly it is to get him. So if you go to the Hex Syndicate, the mall, pause the game, then go to that Dark Factory thing you'll see in the menu, then choose Descendia game mode. And if you've got Steel Path unlocked, it depends what stage you're at. If you're quite new to Warframe, I don't think you can really get Uriel that quick. You need to unlock the syndicates at 1999 and complete their story. Then you need to do this new DLC as well to be able to unlock Uriel. But if you've unlocked all that, then yeah, you just do this Descendia game mode and you'll get him quite quickly. You see the boss fight at number 21. That's when you fight him. You've got a chance of getting his parts or any of his weapon parts. But you know, if you don't get any of his parts there, you use this resources here to buy him. You can buy him from Roth in the Sanctum Anatomica. There's a cathedral there. If you go into the cathedral, you can buy his parts from Roth using that resources. He's really, really good. You know, he's probably the best new frame that I've seen in my whole time playing Warframe. You know, you press his 2, you instantly full heal, you instantly get all your shields back.
Mindless destruction. Perhaps this is a memory of
yeah, I've got him. He's insane. I'll put him on in a minute. Once I finish this round, I'll put him on. He's adding heat damage to lots of different guns. It depends, what stage of the game are you at? Have you unlocked Steel Pass? Yeah, well, you know, if you're up to scratch with building and everything, he's absolutely insane. Even if you're not, you know, if you're running him modless and you're brand new to Warframe and you buy him or something, he's going to absolutely shred the early content. You know, he's got Trinity's 4 built in with his 2. You press his 2, you get instant full health, instant full shields. And his shield goes up to like 1,000, so you get a massive shield gate with it. You press his 3, and you're getting fire damage, heat, and fire rate on your guns. If you have a battery weapon or you have the Natarut, that's infinite heat damage. You know, you never reload them weapons, so you're constantly going to have that buff up. Then you press his 4, and everything in an AoE just dies. Everything, acolytes, everything just dies. I subsumed off his 1 because I didn't like the movement thing, I didn't need it. I put on Nourish. You don't need that because you've got so much energy. I just like to be able to have free viral, and then I can put corrosive heat magnetic on my guns. So Uriel's doing constant corrosive heat magnetic viral on all my weapons, and when I do press the 4, anything standing in that AoE just dies. You know, and if any time your shield breaks, you just press 2. Boom, you've got another 3 seconds of invincibility. I'll put them on in a second. Once I've done this, I'm at round, what's this, 18? And around 19, 20, 21, then I'll put them on. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. See, frames like Nidus and arrows now, because, see, there's no shield. You probably know this already. Now we've got this Arcane Persistence Arcane, it means they're limited to only take 500 damage a second. And they're regening their health faster than they can be damaged, so it doesn't matter if you're fighting enemies that are hitting you for 100 billion damage a second, it can't kill you now. Because, you know, their damage is limited to 500 a second, and you're regaining that health back quicker than they can damage you. So now, Nidus and in arrows, there's probably going to be a lot of people using them in level cap. You know, level 9,999 enemies, the toughest in the game. Right, one more round after this, then we'll put on Uriel.
Did the double plate children's games once, long ago.
Let's see how well he can tank this. Look at his health. Look at it. They really can't damage him. Now, health tanks could never have done this in the past. I've took about half the Warframes to level cap Cascade, 9,999, and basically frames that didn't have shields. You know, the way to survive the hardest stuff in this game is your shield breaks, and you would cast an ability like that, and that would give you some shields back, and you would loop invincibility with that. So frames that didn't have shields or that relied on armor and couldn't shield gate, they really couldn't go into the highest level of content in the game. But now with this new arcane, people like Nidus and Arrows, Calervo, any frames that have got a lot of armor, see, look at this, we're limited to how much damage we can take a second. We're out healing the damage it can take. See it? Look at the health. So this is now one of the simplest ways to survive the hardest stuff in game. So this is massive. And you know, see these stacks here, the 16 above my ammo pool. So if for any reason I do die, we just lose that stacks and I become immortal. That's part of Nidus's passive. Well, if you do this game mode, you'll get the resources to buy this arcane. So this arcane's called Arcane Persistence. So, you know, if you do this game mode in Steel Pass, let's say you run this public, or if you're free now, come on and join me. You can do it with me. If you run this game mode maybe about 6 times, you'll have enough to buy that arcane and max it out. Then any frame that's got a big armor value, you'll be able to survive freely any damage.
The kinds that would make your skin crawl just to think about it.
So Inaros and Nidus are probably the two best that can do this. Lavos can do it too. But then any other frames, if you add enough armor, you're going to be able to do this as well. Where the hell am I? I'm fucking lost. Whoa, look at this glitch. Can't even get down there. Yeah, I'm stuck down here. I can't get down. Alright, now I'm getting down now. Wait, no, I'm not. That is fucking insane.
I only grow stronger, Leon.
I'll sling through here now. Also, our operators now. The fact that we're getting amp efficiency on operators, damage, multi-shot. You know, this is going to be absolutely insane. If we've got efficiency on this, let me see. If we can just spam this with efficiency, you're never going to die. You know, you're going to be able to resurrect yourself every time.
Well played.
Yeah, the reason I'm glitched here is this floor should have fell through and it didn't fall through. But I still got the resources, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, these are the resources you're going to use to buy Uriel if you don't get lucky and get a part of him to drop. Well, I'll take Uriel in this game mode again. So look, you come here, you come at the 1999, and then you go Dark Refactory, and you go Descendia here, and this is where you'll farm him. And if you need to buy him, see down this button here, Sanctum button here, click that. Then once you're there, pause the game again like I did, and you'll see around about here a place called Cathedral, and that's where you can go and buy his parts if you didn't get lucky and they didn't drop. And then all the materials to craft him, you know, the things that are needed to build his parts and the new weapons you get from Purita of the Rebellion. So let's get Uriel out. Now he's really, really good with these weapons that don't need to reload because you permanently keep that heat buff up. And, you know, I'm permanently having, maybe screenshot this if you want a guide to a quick and easy build. He's permanently keeping your critical chance up because he's putting heat on every enemy. So, you know, he's doing that with his weapons, with his abilities. So you're going to have permanent red crits. This is a flex slot. You could probably put Molt Augmented in there. You're going to be immortal with that. I've got viral here and free energy regen. This is going to put insane damage. Look at that fire rate, extra damage. So the gameplay path would be activate one, which is Nourish, activate this, activate that, then alternately activate both of these, and then once the bar on screen fills up, you're going to cast this, and anything dying in that area is going to just die instantly. Sorry, anything standing in that area. Now, I'm going to take... What am I going to take? I'm going to take this to hopefully get some more resources to drop. Because if you take one of these cats, the Smita, and you use this, you'll get more resources to drop with this as well. And so for the critical chance, you want this arcane here. So you can use this on Ember. You can use it on any Warframe that can do heat damage. But you can also, sorry, this is the armor. Where is it? What am I doing? Where's persistence? There we go. This is the armor arcane, right? This is the one. You know, this caps the amount of damage you can be taking. Well, this one you can farm in the new game mode, so you can get this quite easily. So, if you do this Descendia game mode, you'll get the resources to buy this. 2 seconds. Sorry, I had to go and do something there. So yeah, you're going to put arcane. Where was I? What was I saying? So if you want that armor tank in Arcane, you can do it in this game mode. And you know, when you come back tomorrow, you can join me if you want to. You know something, I might even have enough resources to give you one. You know, if I've got enough spare, I'll just give you one. But the Arcane Hotshot Arcane is quite a tricky one to get. You can get that if you do Elite Temporal Archimedia. That's the sort of hard game mode in the Halvania. You know, you can do it once a week. It's the 3 missions back to back. There you can get that Arcane to drop. Or you can buy it from Kayla in the 1999 Syndicate. It used to be really, really expensive for one, but now it's dropped down in price because it's quite old. A couple of months old now, probably. And the good thing about Arcane Hotshot is, you know, it's not just heat damage Warframes that can use it. If you've got a companion that can put a lot of heat damage on different, you know, if you mod heat damage on a Sentinel's weapon, let's say you've got the Diriga companion,
if this descent is to continue,
and you add heat damage to it, the Diriga is going to constantly put heat on enemies, and that will stack Arcane Hotshot for you, so you'll permanently get a crit buff with it. So you don't need to rely on people like Ember or Uriel or Lavos to be doing heat damage. I use the Arcane Hotshot on, you know, every Warframe basically, because my Sentinel is spreading heat damage constantly, so it stacks up Arcane Hotshot. Now, where's our Arcane Hotshot here? Can't even see it stacked yet. Doesn't seem to be stacked. No, it's not stacked yet because we're getting nullified, I think. Right, so we put heat damage on these people. Did I put Arcane Hotshot on her? Am I absolutely hallucinating? Looks like, oh yeah, I did put on. I'm just not putting heat on anybody. But anyway, let's talk about Uriel. You'll see the Arcane Hotshot stack eventually. So, I'll cast the second ability. Watch this. We get grey health, and it completely regens. See that? Well, in my opinion, the best companion you can get, and it's, you know, you just build it. You just build it for you know, out of resources. You don't need to go and try and farm a prime. If you can get the Diriga companion, that's going to have a mod in it called Arc Coil, where it zaps 8 enemies. And there we go. We'll cast this 4 now, and everything should burn and die as we get enough energy. There we go. Watch this. See, everything in this red area will die, burn to death. They're taking more and more damage, then they die eventually. So. Have we stacked Hotshot? Now we've stacked Hotshot because we're putting heat damage on enemies. So look at this. We're getting crit chance from that. But if you have the Diriga and you mod it for heat damage, it's going to constantly keep that up, so you're constantly doing red critical damage. And that's why I think, in my opinion, the Diriga is the best companion you can have. I don't have it right now because I'm trying to get more resources, because the Smear Kavat can drop more resources for us. But every time I play, I 90% of the time I use the Diriga, and you can build it, you can buy its blueprint from the market for credits, or maybe it's the Dojo Lab. But you know, you're not going to have to spend any plat on it, and I think it's the best companion in the game.
Do not fight back. Familiar. The only problem is,
and look at this. See the heat damage of my magazine now? Because this gun constantly reloads on when you kill enemies, you can have that permanent heat damage on the Occucore.
a little boy smashing his toys.
Or if you have the Nataruk bow, you know, because it's infinite ammo, you're going to have constant infinite heat damage in it. Or there's the Fullman Prime, again that's a battery gun that doesn't need to reload, it recharges its bullets. So it's going to have constant heat damage in it. You're always going to have that buff up. Yeah, you know, if you never need to reload, you never lose that heat damage. So if you've got a gun that has to reload, you'll need to, you know, you'll lose it. But, you know, you pick up, like, it's kind of like a little orb that drops that's bright red. And when you pick up that orb, that's when you get this heat buff. But it's going to constantly be there because, you know, you're killing people so quick. These little orbs that give you this heat buff are just constantly going around. So even if you don't have, you know, technically, like, look at this, I don't have the heat damage there, but I've got the heat damage here. Because this gun needs to reload. But you're going to pick up this heat damage buff so often that you don't need to worry about it. I was just pointing out that battery guns are completely infinite with it.
Bon. The devil is our locomotive and we must blow off his steam.
Now, see if we can, see these guys with the red here on them? Once we kill them, we'll get a lot of energy orbs. See that? So you've basically got infinite energy with them as well. Now we've got the heat buff on both guns now, see? Now we can nuke everybody that's before. And everything in this area is just burning to death. And that 4 charges with every cast you can see. Or maybe it's enemies killed under effects of your abilities, but you know, everything in this area is just going to die. And our bar's halfway through again, so you know, we can cast 4 quite often. And we've got this permanent heat buff on the gun, so it's just, it's crazy. But then I need to reload there, still got it, because there's so many of these red orbs lying around that are giving us the heat buff. Then look, massive amounts of energy and health drop out of any enemy that have that red logo above their head. We've almost got our buff, our 4 back again, sorry. One thing I wish is that you could add heat to our melee weapons as well. That would have been really cool if you could have added heat to it. But I suppose I can't have everything. Because I don't know if you know much about the melee influence arcane, that's kind of the meta for melee weapons right now. An arcane called melee influence. So if you hit somebody and you get an electric status effect, you know, you just go electric on your weapon, it then basically chains electric to everybody in a 30-meter area. So, you know, if he could add heat onto the weapon, it would chain electric and heat. Now, you'll see the electric spread in a minute. Keep watching. I'll tell you when it's proc.
Did the devil play children's games once, long ago?
It's proc, yeah, I can't tell. Yeah, see the electric going around on various different enemies, all that white numbers. That's the electric spread in everyone. So if he could have added heat to it, it would have been even stronger. But you can't have everything. These enemies in this levels are really strong. They've got a lot more health than the usual skill path enemies. Usually they would have melted by now. Now, we can nuke them with this though, or 4, see how we get on. Just ridiculous damage. As soon as they come into this red bit floor, they'll die. You know, and again, if we ever get in any danger of dying, we'll press 2, we'll get a grayed out health bar, and we'll completely refill our health. Hey, I wouldn't say my builds are great. Mine's are pretty just run of the mill. Once you get to understanding really what mods work fine, and I would recommend you look up people on YouTube that are far more knowledgeable than me. I would suggest you look up maybe Nightmare Frame, or you look up Kai, or you look up Warframe Flow, Kengineer. All these guys are really, really knowledgeable, and they've played the game a lot more than me. And I would tip my hat to them. You know, they're the guys that, if I want a general idea, that's who I go and look to. Moog as well, M-O-U-G. He's one of my absolute favourites. I think he's really knowledgeable in the game. So, you know, these guys are well better at the game than me. I just kind of nitpick bits from all of them and try and do my own thing. I wonder if this will kill him, and see how the heat damage does in him. Maybe he's resistant to it. Is it scaling up? I don't know. Maybe he's resistant to ability damage, I don't know. Now this fight can be a bit tough, because once he gets to his halfway health bar, if he jumps, oh, I didn't do it. Sometimes he jumps up in the air and he can one-shot you if you don't jump into your operator like this and sling around like that. Sometimes he can one-shot you. Need energy, danger. There we go. And we got our full health back again immediately. Full shields back again. Shit, I just shot Harold. I wish they would have... This is Uriel. This is basically Uriel's human form. So we come down here, we do this boss fight, look, we just got the Uriel near optics to drop. So this is where we come to, you know, get the Uriel parts, like I've said. So you know, of all the different new frames that I've farmed, I definitely Uriel's one of the fastest that I've farmed. Another cool thing Uriel can do is this here, this mod, because he's adding heat damage. Because he's adding heat damage to the weapon. He can make this absolutely nuke everything. Similar to Saren, I don't know if you've ever seen Saren as well. She can do the same sort of thing. You know, certain fancy interactions can buff certain weapons. And the Sobek with acid shells can be buffed from Saren, and some other frames can buff it, and Uriel's one of them now. Because he's adding heat damage, that special mod will now explode in a big area and spread heat on everybody. Well, you know, to get these things, this is the thing with Warframe, it's such a grindy game. You know, if you want to I would say concentrate on finding a character you like and max out that character. And then, you know, maybe seeing what sort of guns or weapons people are using on YouTube that suit that character, and then go for that. Because this is such a grindy game, there's so much stuff to do in it, and it can be so overwhelming. I completely understand. At one point I completely felt like I thought, God, there's so many different things to get. How am I ever going to get round to it? But eventually, you just chip away at it and you get them all. And there's plenty of guns that are quite easy to achieve that are melee weapons. Right now, you know, you'll have the Zorus, that electric sort of frisbee thing you get, XORIS. If you've got that, and you add the melee influence arcane to it, which is relatively easy to get, that is going to absolutely nuke the whole map. I'll show it in a minute. Once I leave this boss fight, I'll put on the Zorus and I'll show you how strong that thing is. But you know, like I says, any of these melee weapons, if you put electric on them now and you put that electric arcane in it, you can nuke the whole room. Because it just spreads electric to absolutely everyone. Yeah, melee influence. And it works so well with, you know, look at it, there's just electric going on everybody, see it? Now these guys are really strong, so it might not work good down here. But when you're doing normal game modes, it's going to be absolutely crazy. There's just electric dots going on everyone. And then, you know, if you add more elements to it, if you add blast, if you add, you know, heat through Ember's augment or Lavos, he can add other elemental damage to them. But as you can see, there's just electric going on everyone, and this is really good for, you know, just base steel path. This shreds everything, even up to level cap. You know, if you go up to the hardest content in the game and you've got melee influence, it will work all the way up to level cap. A gun that I recommend everyone gets, and I probably glaze it too hard, is a gun called the Stalta. It's an MR10 or 9 gun. It comes from the same place where you fight Protea. And it is ridiculously strong because, you know, the galvanized mods, we've got a mod called Galvanized Aptitude. If you put that on certain guns, instead of them doing additive damage for every status effect an enemy's suffering, so say you shoot an enemy and they've got heat and electric and cold in them, and you've got Galvanized Aptitude on most guns, that'll add 30% damage. But on some guns it multiplies it. So Stalta is a gun that I got when I was MR10 through a friend told me to get it. And you know, it does millions and millions and millions of damage. It's fully automatic, and it's also got an alt fire that shoots out a massive explosive. And it's multiplicative too. So, you know, that's a gun that you could maybe work towards getting, unless you've got Incarnate weapons already. If you've got Incarnate weapons, you know, they're probably going to out-damage it. But if you don't have any of the Incarnate weapons, or you haven't done this circuit, I think the Stalta is a very, very strong gun that people should get. Because, you know, it can AoE kill, it can single target kill, it's great for disruption. And it's more of the fact that it's multiplicative with that Galvanized Aptitude, that mod, which just makes it go absolutely crazy.
Struggle to keep pressure from becoming too great. What were you bursting with, Wolf? Anger, humiliation, lust?
Are these guys getting nuked from acid shells or not? Am I hallucinating? Yeah, it's exploding, killing a lot. Good. So what frames is it you mostly play? For example, Excalibur Umbra, that's a frame that everybody has. And Excalibur Umbra is really, really strong. You know, you're maybe limited to using his melee, exalted, or melee weapons, but Excalibur Umbra, I've took my level cap, and he is so strong. Maybe it is just influence that's buffing up his damage, but the fact that his first ability, you cast his first ability, and you chain to enemies, you're immortal while you're chained to them, and melee influence spreads to absolutely everybody in the room. and kills everyone. So, you know, he's in a great spot right now. So if I was to ever start a new Warframe account, the first thing I would do is work towards maxing out Excalibur, giving him melee influence, and then, you know, you can do virtually all the content in the game. If your shield breaks and you panic, you cast one, and then you chain 2 enemies, and you're immortal.
It's not like I can stop you. Yet.
And then he's also got an augment for his 3rd ability, which, for every enemy that you hit, gives you 30% melee damage. And, you know, you can have 1,000% increase in damage. Well, if things aren't that strong enough to kill Steel Path enemies, a slight bit of revision and you'll be surprised how much stronger you'll be, honestly. You know, just a slight little look at it and I'm sure that we'll be able to make it kill Steel Path easily enough. You know, when I first started Warframe and I got to Steel Path, I had no idea how to mod. I had no idea, and I was close to giving up the game. I was close. I thought, this is insanely hard. The learning curve, how strong every enemy is now that I'm in Steel Path. So don't let that dishearten you at all. Don't, because I felt the exact same back then. It is a steep learning curve, and you know, when you're playing through the normal star chart or the normal story, there's not really much need to learn how to mod, and then you get to Steel Path and it drops you in your head and you think, why am I walking in a mission and dying straight away? So don't let that get you down. I'd say that's quite normal, and I felt that exact same way too. What I'll do is after this, I'll put on my Wukong and I'll let you screenshot what I use in him. And this Wukong seems to be fine. You should be able to handle most content with it. They've also got frames like Gauss or Revenant. You know, if for example, it's not healthy, but if you've got Revenant and you cast the 2nd ability, you're immortal. You're completely immortal. You know, nothing can kill you, no matter how high the damage is. And as long as you cast that 2nd ability every couple of seconds, you're immortal. You can't die. But you know, I think that's quite a bad habit to get into Revenant, because once you get into him, he's just so easy to play the game that you get lazy and you don't want to try other frames. Another thing that I found that really helped me. You want me to put, are you saying you want me to show Revenant?
Into nothing more than this? A miserable pile of secrets unto himself? It is a greater sin than any Orokin could ever have dreamt up in their wildest nightmares. 16!
Yeah, you want me to put Revenant on once I do this boss fight? Show you what he's like. It definitely will help you, you know, understand maybe some more mechanics of Steel Path and that. If you've got a Revenant, you won't need to worry about.
Fire silences them all.
You cast this 2nd one, it's called Mesmer's Shield, and it'll give you a certain amount of stacks, so it might say, depending on your strength, so it might give you 20 stacks, and that'll mean for the next 20 hits you're hit with, you're immortal. Oh, because I haven't monetized this event, and I just kind of do this for fun yet. I don't really know much about YouTube, to be honest. I just put this up here to really help people, and you know, if people want to join or they need any help, they can join me. I didn't really do this to try and make anything out of it, really. Right, I'll show you Revenant. So if we look down here, we have Mesmer's skin. 20 charges. So that'll mean that the next 20 hits we're hit with, we can't die. And here's the Zorus, the electric Zorus, as you can see. We've got the melee influence arcane. Here's the Stalta. So I'll show these as well. You know, the Stalta is quite easily to get. Now, the Stalta, you know, fires like this. Hopefully I've got fire rate buff on this so it's going to look terrible. Fires like that. Does insane damage for every status effect an enemy's under. You know, it's going to multiply the damage. And then you've got an alt fire that should be shooting faster than that, that does insane damage. And we've also got this glaive that we're going to be able to throw, and when we detonate it, throw it, we detonate it, it's going to do huge electric damage in a big area. Right, so Revenant, we've cast the second ability. We've got 20 stacks, see it down there? Now, see our health has went greyed out. Now obviously you need to avoid the nullifiers because they'll turn the ability off. But now watch when somebody shoots me. Grey health, see? Now when somebody nullified us, so we need to get out of the way. Cast it again. Now watch when this guy shoots us. We get grey health and they go to sleep. Now if we stack up our dead head, this is going to be an extremely strong gun. The MR10, it's quite easy to get this gun. And you know, we've got 19 stacks of immortality now. Now as long as you just consciously keep an eye on it and cast the 2 now and then, you're going to be immortal.
I feel we have strayed into Roth's adolescence.
Nothing can kill us. Now we went down to 17 stacks. Now these guys that kill everybody easily can't kill us either. We just stand here. Now we're down to 13 stacks. So you've got plenty of time to recast this in between getting hurt. Now, how many status effects this guy got on him? None. But once we get some status effects on him, and we shoot him with a Stalta, it's going to do millions of damage. I didn't bring a primer with me, so it's not going to look that good. But you can see how many bullets it took to kill him there. Take him in the simulacrum after this. I'm going to leave this mission after this one, and I'm going to go into the simulacrum and showcase some of the things I'm talking about. And we throw the Zorus, electric on everybody, millions of damage. Now this'll one shot, you know, groups of enemies up to level thousands. Look at that, see the electric spread to everybody around there, see it? Now when you add in viral as well, there's viral electric. Well, that's because you need the melee influence arcane. So once you get the arcane melee influence, which you can pick up quite cheap, you put that on it, and then any electric effect is going to just spread to every enemy.
Perhaps this is a memory of the devils from when he was a
And you're going to do a lot more damage. It's sort of the meta that everybody uses right now. Melee influence is... But then you've got people complaining about it. I don't understand why they complain about it. You know, people complained about hammer slams, and that got nerfed. So I just hope they don't nerf melee influence. So Revenant is immortal, but I think he's quite an unhealthy habit to get into because, you know, once you get into him, you can often become lazy because you think, well, I don't need to worry about survivability at all. I'll just cast 2 and I'm fine. That looks like me after I've had 10 beers. Yeah, so it's good for immortality if you're wanting to just brain dead play, but I would recommend not getting in a big habit of using him. He is good though for you to get into Steel Path. But like, look at the sort of damage this gun can do if we get a lot of stats effects on enemies. Right, so of course I need to reload right now. Everybody killing them before I can kill them. Yeah, they just explode, see, but I can make this a lot stronger and under right circumstances. Now it's multiplying its damage with every stack of primary deadhead. So the arcane we've got on the gun is going to give it, I think it's 30% damage every kill we get. But we've also got galvanized aptitude in the gun that's going to multiply the damage for every status effect, stacking up 2 times. So this is a gun that can do AoE, because you can shoot it to alt fire and then it kills a big group of enemy, or you can kill, you know, really strong single target weapons with that. So it's a gun that I recommend everybody should get.
Oh, rummage through my things. Take what you need. It's not like I can stop you. Yet.
And of course this secondary, the Occucore, is a really strong as well. If you can get the augment for it, it means for every enemy you kill you get 20% of your magazine back, so it then becomes infinite ammo, and the beams of energy chain to different enemies.
They are only phantoms, they cannot truly harm you.
So that's another really good one to get, and you know you can get its blueprint from the market, and then I think most of the resources you get are from Venus.
Like fleeting thoughts that escape one's grasp, these devices seek to elude us.
Now, these guys down here are super strong. I'll show this alt fire. It probably won't look that good here, but you see it done a massive alt fire there. But typically this is really strong. Their health down here is insane though. Can't even stack up this gun. Yeah, we can't even stack up. They're so strong down here. You can put the stats effects on enemies to showcase the start of it. Now, if we hit him with the alt fire, let's see how we do. It looks pathetic down here because they've got so much health. Well, yeah. It depends on what weapons you were getting. If you were looking up, for example, the Torrid, you need to go into the circuit in Duviri. Circuit is a certain game mode you can do once you've unlocked Steel Path, so you'll be able to do it. And it allows you to get a thing called incarnate adapters, which basically transform the guns and make them as strong as probably that list you were seeing. But this gun here I'm showcasing, the Stala, it doesn't need any of the fancy stuff. I'll show you some of the mods afterwards. It just needs to get galvanized chamber, galvanized aptitude, serration, viral damage, and some critical damage mods, and it's pretty strong. The way that I felt like I built up my knowledge at the beginning was using YouTube and looking up, you know, some of the big creators that I mentioned: Nightmare Frame, Moog, Warframe Flow, the Kengineer, people like that. They're really good at helping you learn things, and I think it's a really good starting point to gain knowledge. And also use the Warframe Wikipedia. I think that helped me a lot as well.
I will wait. For now. 17.
But there's no question about it, this is a grindy game that requires a lot of effort to get to where you kind of want to be at.
I know what whispers in your skull, Leon. Fire silences them all.
Let the devil strike this holy
I've got no
image.
fire rate. This is why this. There we go. This is the way to do. No, it's not. That was the way to do that thing that can one shot you. I'm going to go into my simulacrum and show you some of the things I was talking about now. Right, we'll go over here and show some of this.
My control expands to a new sector. Except, you lack the capacity to stop me.
So for a companion, I would recommend you go and get this one. It's quite easy to get. I think you just buy its blueprint from the market. You might already have it actually, because I think it might be part of some of the early game requirements is to get this. So this is the Diriga here. It's going to be putting status effects on all the enemies. I swear by this. I absolutely love this companion. And these, you know, you can screenshot this and, you know, look up where it gets some of these mods from. These are more complicated, the Bond mods, but they're so worth it when you get it. This helps with your energy if you've got equilibrium in your frame. This is going to freeze enemies. This is going to spread status effects to everyone. This is going to add more status effects. This is going to give you more critical damage. This here is just what I use to put as much status effects on enemies as I can. So I'll put a Dig up. And then this is the weapon I use. You could just use a normal burst laser or any sort of weapon you really wanted that's got a lot of status effects in it. And then this is the Stalta. This is the gun I was saying that if you're not wanting to go and get all the incarnate weapons and go through all the hardships of it. Now I'll even take this ribbon off. Look, that's a great ribbon, but I'll take it off. You could drop this and put on cryo rounds. I don't have it maxed out, but you know, you could just use the normal cryo rounds. So what I'll do is I'll drop this, and I'll drop this, and I'll put in, what will I put in? So let's see how it does with, you know, not even the optimized build, with mods that most people probably have lying around. So what we've got now, corrosive, and we'll put heat in it as well. So let's see how this does, like this. Do a hit to damage, but we'll see how it does. And it's lost a good bit of critical damage. Is the Zorus. Ignore this. You don't need this. You could put this in Blood Rush if you wanted. You could put in Gladiator Might. So this is your free slot. This is the main thing you're wanting. So we've got the Diriga, and I'll show what I mean by status effects. Now, the reason that this gun and certain guns are so strong is this multiplies that with this and with this. So if we spawn in these guys, now our Diriga, look, putting status effects in these guys. So that's going to multiply our damage. Now watch this, there's no stacks, not stacked up deadhead or anything. One dead. 2 dead. A little squeeze and they're now exploding dead. Now we'll add some viral in. 1 bullet. 1 bullet and a fully automatic gun. Now if we'll alt fire them as well, let's see how the alt fire does. Oops, we didn't even get our immortality up. So it does a lot of damage. Now that's not even an optimized build really. If we put on the way it was before, it'll do a lot more damage. I'll just change it back before I forget. That's off. And now we'll show the Zorus as well. Where's my... What the hell is going on here? Right, here we go. That's what I was missing. So this is the way I run it now, typically. And I'll show the Zorus as well. So we'll let our companion prime them up. We've got 0 stacks again, I think. Look at that. 1 squeeze. Millions. Now this isn't an incarnate weapon, but it's really, really strong. What was that, 76 million, was it? 106 million. 3 million. 60 million. 27 million. 91 million. Now, with the Zorus, like you're saying, you've got the Zorus. As long as you add melee influence to it, and a bit of damage, a bit of critical damage, it should do this. Now, once we get it stacked up first, because we're stacking this up on really tough enemies. Right, now we're stacked. Get the rest of them in. Oh, we didn't need to add vital in. Yeah, you're just going to delete whole rooms of people, see? Now, pull the Zorus again. And the damage over time is going to kill them. But, you know, you're not going to be fighting 20 of them guys, you know? So let's get in this. This is the sort of things you're mostly going to be fighting, is it? Once the melee influence procs. Look at that. But yeah, melee influence is great on a lot of different weapons. Now the weapon you were probably looking up was the Torrid. Now this gun is ridiculously strong, no doubt about it, probably the strongest gun in the game, but you need to get a thing called the Incarnate Adapter, which unlocks this bit of the gun. See, this is what will make it transform. Now that it transforms, it can do this. Watch this. So normally it just fires like this, a little fart cloud, and it's pathetic. But now this is what you're lacking. You're obviously lacking the adapter. Watch this. So see this little bar charging? Now we transform it. It becomes a beam of chaining death. It just chains to all the enemies and kills them. See, it becomes this little light beam that just chains to enemies and kills them. See, this is why this becomes so strong, but you need to get the little adapter for it. Then, again, it just changed enemies, and it just melts everything. Absolutely melts everything. But, you know, we've got a sort of budget version of this here with this pistol. Have a look at this. Now, once we get one kill, watch the ammo meter refill. See it refilling? And it changed enemies, infinite ammo. That's using this new arcane. It's not that important. You can ignore this mod if you want to screenshot this, screenshot this. You can drop this for the normal. You don't need the prime mods. It'll still kill. I would recommend actually using this arcane. This is quite an old one. You could probably get for 20 platinum if you need to buy it. There's probably lots of them lying about. People will probably just give you this, to be honest. This is the important thing here. So let's showcase. Yep, if you need to go, you go away and do whatever you need to do, and you can join me. My name is the same on. Here it is. I'll type it out so you can copy and paste it if you need to. An admin game. And look at this. Here's a quick showcase of how immortal Revenant is. You know, see, we're just completely immortal. Nothing can really hurt us. We're stacking up this. We've got infinite ammo. And nothing's really going to be able to kill us. Oh, if you've had him already, I'll find you. So, go away. Have fun. Finally unlock this.
Over to you.
I need to upgrade these. I know, I've crashed, I think. I might have to end the stream if I've crashed. Yep, it's not letting me come out of this mode now. Stuck here. Alright, well, I'll see you tomorrow. I think I'm gonna have to end the stream and get it back up because I cannot get out of this mode. Completely stuck. I'll be back in a few minutes.